through the night, playing with your life. Go against the pack, that's risking your life. Better play it right, yeah, you better play it right.
Doing great. So glad to be talking about the Who's tonight.
Yeah, who's NC State plays UVA Saturday at noon at Carter Finley.
Oh, I meant the Heels.
Virginia fresh off of their win over Tim Beck and the Fighting Chanticleers.
Poor Timmy B.
Yeah, I think I said this last podcast, or at least I told you. I really feel for Coastal Carolina fans going from Chadwell to Tim Beck.
Well, apparently they got a new coordinator, so it's not the classic Tim Beck scheme, I guess. So maybe he's at least accepted that a little bit. But hey, they did get Grayson back.
Yeah, MJ Morris went 20 for 36, 163, and an interception. Former UNC quarterback Tad Hudson, I think that's the same guy.
Oh my God, really?
Went 0 for 1. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I remember when he and Lex Thomas were shit posting each other on Twitter at some point in time. That's funny.
Yeah. UVA put up 48 points, 48-7. Somehow they didn't stop in the second quarter when they got to 17, but they kept going. 31. Excuse me. But yes, they kept going and got 48.
That MJ Morris stat line is the most MJ Morris stat line, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
20 receptions, 160 yards. Sounds very familiar.
You know, I said something on Twitter. Somebody's like, it's amazing. I forgot what they said. And I said, the real amazing part is that everybody missed on their evaluations of MJ. I guess you just can't scout the mental side of it, or I don't know. I don't know what it is, but we missed out on him out of high school. Maryland missed on him on their evaluation. I mean, Tim Beck knew exactly what he was getting when he brought him into Coastal, and I don't even know if it's his fault or not. But
is it possible he's just a backup quarterback?
Yeah, it's possible he's not very good.
I mean, it's. I feel like the thing about him is it wasn't ever that he was horrific, except for that Duke game, but like it's just that he was never exceptional, right?
Yeah, it's fair.
Just mid,
super mid.
But good for him, man. He's probably made a bunch of money from being mid. Good for him.
Yeah, well, we're not here to talk about MJ. We're here to talk about the other Morris, Chandler Morris.
Yeah, that's right.
UVA quarterback. You like that transition?
I did like that.
27, 264, average 10 yards to throw, 2 tutties. Ran at 5 for 50. He got hurt in that game, but they said he was all clear to go.
It's his non-throwing shoulder.
Yeah, I expect UVA to be at full health, whatever that may be. But all that to say, I have no idea what to expect from Virginia. I watched that game. I don't know if Coastal's terrible or UVA's actually better than they have been. But one thing I did see that stood out to me, and I'm not sure if you looked at, and I didn't notice it when I was watching the game, but their quarterback had 5 carries. Noah Vaughn, their starting running back, had 10 carries. Jamari Taylor had 10 carries. Xavier Brown had 8 carries. And Harrison Whaley had 7 carries. They had a bunch of guys running the rock. Now, that's crazy to me. That's a lot. None of them are listed as wide receivers. So that's a lot of running backs to go around. I don't know. That's interesting. Just an offensive wizard.
Be curious if they were just starting to spread it around. I mean, there was really no threat from them. I mean, I think by the end of at half it was 29-0, right? So
yeah,
that could have been a lot of just getting up backups, and who knows? It's tough. I'm just like looking at the play drives.
Yeah, it was ugly.
Punt, fumble, punt, reception. Tough.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's what so coming back to the pack, this game this week, to me, you can't lose to Virginia. All right. And I know people are going to say, just looking at the box score, oh, well, they might be better than us, but basically in year 13, and I know some people hate to hear the year 13 argument because that doesn't have each year's independent, blah, blah, blah. But year 13, you're essentially a push with UVA. State's a 3-point favorite, but they're playing at home, so it's typically a wash. Not super awe-inspiring. I don't know how much of that is based on our game on Thursday last week, but Yeah, I don't know. You just can't lose this game. Don't lose this game. You lose to Virginia, and based on what we saw in the rest of the ACC, there doesn't seem to be a ton of wins out there if you can't get this game.
Yeah, I think it'll come down to their quarterback. I don't expect anything exceptional from a Des Kitchings offense, but they got a guy, Cam Ross, who kind of popped off for that game. He had a kickoff return touchdown, had 124 yards receiving and a touchdown. So, like, they've brought in a bunch of players. It's kind of tough. Like, teams like this, teams like UNC, etc., right? They bring in so many transfers, you really don't know what you're getting. I wonder if you just kind of ignore everything from the first week, as teams kind of digest who a lot of these teams are, just with all the new personnel. But it does seem like, the big factor this season might just be experienced quarterback play, right?
And they have it. Chandler Morris has been around. I think this is his 6th year playing. Oklahoma, TCU for 3 years, North Texas. He was the starter last year. Threw for nearly 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, and just 12 interceptions. So the kid can move it. And he's been around a lot. My initial thought when you see a guy that is a journeyman, you try to come out there and confuse him and show him different looks. And I'm sure that is what they're going to do to CJ. But yeah, UVA, it feels like they brought in a pretty good portal quarterback.
I think I was listening to a Virginia podcast this morning. I think they mentioned that Coastal was running a 3-3-5.
Yes, they were.
So we won't be running that. So maybe maybe they were ready for that configuration. Yeah, who knows? There's a part of me that's kind of like, well, if he's so good, like, why was he at North Texas?
North Texas is a good program.
Yeah, come on.
They're not bad.
They're not great.
They're not great, but they're not bad.
I'm sorry. We're not doing this. That North Texas is a good team. No, we're not doing this.
You crazy man.
I think we'll know a lot about this team by the end of this game, right? You're actually going against Power 5 players. This is why I hate playing ECU like to start the year, because it's like I don't know what kind of team we have going into this one. But I guess the benefit is it's basically a meaningless game because it's a non-conference game.
It is a non-conference game. I think it's always so stupid, but
yeah. So it's not really impacting us from the goal, which is obviously to win a championship. But I don't know. It's tough because if they had played like a better team, right, we'd have a better understanding of what we're getting. Coastal could just be trash.
It's going to be hard to make the playoff if you lose to UVA.
Oh, that's true. But if UVA goes 12-0 and we go 11-1,
that's very possible.
Right?
Very possible.
I'm looking at their schedule. It looks pretty easy.
Yeah. I don't know. Just don't lose this game. All right. What do you want to see from NC State in this game?
Vertical passing aggression, a competent run game, that defensive effort again. Can we kick a field goal over 31 yards? Can we call timeouts when we're not prepared? Just be a little more smooth. Clean up a lot of the stuff. Aside from the stupidity on the substitution touchdown play, I think a lot of the stuff from last game can be cleaned up. What do they usually say that your biggest jump is from game 1 to game 2?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. Just be better.
Be better,
best.
right?
Be best.
Yeah. I would like to see a competent run game, honestly. I think they will continue to take their shots, throwing the ball. I think, based on Kurt Roper's comments in his presser, I think he liked a lot of what he saw at CJ, and they're going to continue to be vertical in that regards, but they have to be able to run the ball. And we briefly touched on this last pod, but something's weird to me about the run game. And we've been talking about it in the pod chat pretty much all day today about the run game. And a lot of people are saying, we're gap scheme or zone running team running gap scheme. And I get it. I get the scheme. Your personnel has to fit your scheme to a degree. But it seems like that's such a very easy cop-out for a team that has been unable to run the ball, whatever scheme you're running, right? It just always seems to be some excuse. Like, I don't know if it's conditioning and strength or recruiting or coaching or what it is, but they have got to figure out how to run the ball. It just seems insane to me. And you have Hollywood who can cover up a lot of your flaws, right? What is it? What is it? Why can't we run the ball?
Yeah, it's a good question. I thought Danford pointed this out on the IPS pod that he was kind of listing it off, and it was like 5, 6, 7 different kinds of run schemes that they were running in the game. And he was kind of pointing out it's like you sucked at all of them, basically. But instead of sucking at all of them, maybe just focus on one so you can be kind of good at it. And I do think that is a good point, right? It's like, can you really be good at something when you're making these guys do so many different things? And it's kind of weird because the passing game, it seemed like well thought out and efficient in what it was doing. It's very odd to kind of have like a quilt, like a patchwork run game of just completely different concepts. I think you're asking too much for your quarterback in that situation, too much for the linemen. So I would hope that they would simplify things. It's clearly not working, so just throw it out. Like,
Rober made a comment about wanting to limit, how did he phrase it? Limit getting to the edge. He wants to basically run more inside. And I thought it was weird because Hollywood feels like a guy that can exploit the edges, right? I mean, run a wide zone and see what happens. I don't know. That was a strange comment to me.
probably, yeah, I guess he's talking about like his ability to like cut and shift and, you know, get in and out of there. But I don't know, man. It's just weird. It's like the mentality's there. It's just the execution's not. But
Yeah.
like to your point, I just wonder. I know it's like sacrilegious to question anything that D'Antonio does, but it's like maybe we need to review the linemen. Just what we're doing there. It's just something's off. It just, you know, the guys just never. How do I phrase this? They just never look. They just don't look right on tape. I don't know. Like I look at other teams and I'm like, oh, those linemen look like what you would expect from them, right? Maybe it's just the Big Ten is like sucking up all the good linemen, but they just always look squat and off. That could just be the jerseys. I don't know, man. Just let these guys do what they're good at. Quit making them do 10 different things. I don't know. I don't think it's that hard.
There's been some kind of constant over the years, and where they've been unable to formulate a competent run game. And I know some people are going to say, you know, throw it. You do the horizontal passing to supplement your run game, and it's not the same. I think if you can't run the football, it's going to make your vertical passing game more difficult. And they need to get that right in these next couple weeks. And I don't know if they'll be able to, but that's what I want to see. To me, the most important thing for them is figuring out how to run the ball. I don't know what you're going to do if you're running, you know, splitting out 4 wides and do a delayed draw up the middle or something. I don't know, but they got to figure out how to be more successful on the ground. It's going to really put additional pressure on CJ if they can't. And yeah, that's not a formula for success.
Yeah,
You mentioned the 3-3-5, and I wanted to call out that Florida State was running the 3-3-5 against Alabama, and they sure dismantled them. So 3-3-5 can work.
No, not anymore. I'm done with it.
All right, we got a bunch of questions. We're going to roll through these. I put it on Twitter. Do you want me to just read Carolina memes? A. Sanders says, I'm all for the memes, but for the love of all things Wolfpack, don't get into UNC's coaching. Why State fans give a damn about their coaching situation is beyond my comprehension. If you want to do hypotheticals on coaches, who would Boo go after if this is the end for Dave? I mean, come on now. How could you not want to talk about that Carolina game? I mean, they came out and it was the laser light show, and MJ's there, and Lawrence Taylor's there, and Mia Hamm, and Randy Moss, who's not even a Carolina guy, was in there. They came out, drove down the field, and everybody's anointing them. Oh, they're going to challenge Clemson. And I'm like, yo, hold up, people. It's a scripted drive. Let's see what happens. Because TCU had no idea what Carolina was going to look like. But once they rolled it out, like, oh, okay, we can do these things. And they just absolutely stuffed them. And my favorite part about all this, well, after the fact is now my favorite part, but during the game when they had the counter up, it's been an hour since Gio Lopez has completed a pass. It's been 2 hours since Gio Lopez has completed a pass. I'm like, oh, this is so great.
Didn't they say at one point it's been since Thanksgiving since they had converted a third down? Like,
yeah.
Which is kind of bold because, considering how many UNC grads are at ESPN, it's wild that got in the broadcast.
They have been everybody's just been sucking their ass this all off season, and then for it to culminate in that, they peaked on the first drive, and then after that it was just garbage, hot garbage.
Don't forget that they have a Hulu documentary.
Oh, I know.
I told my wife that is going to be the number one thing on Hulu, and it's just because NC State fans are going to be shit watching it over and over and over.
Everybody. Like, I have never seen Carolina get drug as bad as they have on social media than the last, 3 days. It has just been meme after meme and just absolutely just shredding them, which is completely deserved. And it's fascinating to me because they came in and they're with the 33rd NFL team talk, and people were just talking about how Bill Belichick's going to essentially he's got some secret. He's going to unlock whatever evaluations he's going to figure out what all the other programs in college football have not been able to figure out, and he's going to do it differently. And he did it differently because it stunk. And it was glorious. Like, it's so arrogant of them to have that. And I said during the game, during the pod chat, I was like, I would just love to be a fly on the wall, the board of trustees watching that game and just watching TCU just run up and down the field on them.
Well, apparently you can thank Marco Rubio and Tom Tillis for him getting hired.
What?
This is on the IPS board, but it says that Belichick first sent word of his interest for UNC through political allies. He reached out to longtime friend Marco Rubio, who then contacted Tom Tillis, hoping to light a fire in Chapel Hill in support of Belichick.
Oh my God.
And he said he wants a school. He told Tillis this. He wants a school with a great academic reputation. He wants to try to build a program to bring them a national championship. Tom Tillis made these calls. This is how it ended up. So thanks, Tom. Appreciate your hard work down there.
I mean, Tom might get a vote for me now.
That's only too bad he's retiring.
That's absurd,
oh my God,
man.
Yeah. Well, anyways, okay. Well, let's not spend too. I feel like we're gonna get to come back to this a lot, but I've only got 15 more minutes. So
yeah, all right. It was glorious. Everybody's gloating in it. I'm not gonna dwell on too much, but come on now. It's our biggest rival, and they look like a train wreck after all we heard about all offseason. Yeah, we're going to talk about it, right? We're not obsessed with it. People are going to talk about it.
I'll just say, when I looked down and saw that they scored to open a drive, I said, oh my God. And then, 10 minutes later, whatever, I looked back at the score and I said, oh, thank you, God.
Yeah. I told a buddy of mine who's in a group chat, he said, look, Carolina's going to be in Charlotte. And I said, they're going to lose this game by 40. That was my first reaction after they scored that first touchdown. And they nearly did lose the game by 40. I almost called it. That was great. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. It was glorious. It was glorious watching the whole train derail already.
I didn't realize he had multiple sons on his coaching staff.
Oh, yeah. And then David Hale tweeted today the
I'm looking at it.
chart. Carolina football. Oh man, it's so good.
That's crazy.
All right, we're going through these other questions now. Zach asked, have you readjusted your season expectations after week 1 from what you saw NC State and their opponents?
I don't know. I was pretty negative going in. So I think maybe I actually did lean more towards us. I think, what did we did we land on like 8-4 is realistic or 7-5? I mean, kind of depends on that back half, right?
Yeah, not me. I was 7-5 at most, I think.
Yeah, I thought we were thinking maybe 5-1 by the time you get through Notre Dame.
Yeah.
At best, probably.
At best. If all things went well, meaning you don't fall to the curse of Winston-Salem and whatever Duke is.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. If we lose to this Wake team, it's going to be hell to pay.
They look stinky.
They look
very
bad.
Stinky. They look very stinky.
No, I think it's probably status quo.
Yes. Maybe different how we get there. Like, I think my expectations of the offense maybe have adjusted and my expectations of the defense. Offense being worse than hoped and defense being better than I expected. So that's kind of, I've readjusted. I haven't recalibrated my win-loss total. But yeah, the rest is, we talked about this on the last pod. Florida State and Miami don't look like they're going to quit anytime soon. So that'll definitely come into play. Yeah. All right. What's your... I can't help it. All right. I'm gonna apologize to Jay
People
Sanders.
asked.
Jeremy asked, what's your prediction for what UNC does with Belichick and their football program when they inevitably don't accomplish their goals this year? I think Belichick is not there long. Yeah. Somebody else asked, and I don't remember. Oh, yes, Tucker. Will UNC ever stoop to hiring an ascending G5 head coach or coordinator?
Did with Fedora.
He was... Oh, yeah, I guess he was Southern Miss at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, with Bubba stepping into a different role and their whole athletic department's in a weird spot right now. I know they've made a bunch of, administrative changes. I don't know what they're going to do. And frankly, I don't care. Keep hiring old guys for all that matters. Like, go get Bill Parcells next or Jimmy Johnson out of retirement. Like, what else can you do? I don't know.
I feel like they got to stick with us for 2 years, right? Like,
I don't know, man. The way that
he looks so miserable out there.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, and this is not necessarily just about Belichick, but it's about Nick Saban doing commercials and other coaches who retire but still want to be seen. Is it just ego? Like, why is Nick Saban doing commercials? Why Bill Belichick at 73 when he's got a hot 24-year-old girlfriend? Like, why do you go back to coaching?
I
don't
Saban probably, Saban's been in commercials. He probably just likes doing it. Also, he probably likes money. Like,
yeah, but he's got to have $100 million at the least.
Yeah, but Miss Terry always needs something. I think it's probably just wants to stay relevant, right? Like,
yeah, just hanging on to it.
Yeah, I don't mind him. I chuckle when I see him in the VRBO commercial. I was telling my wife, I was like, I just don't understand why Belichick did this. Fully tarnishes his reputation forever and just looks ridiculous. But
I think it does. What I think it does is it validates all the people that said he couldn't win without Brady. He was just an average coach, couldn't win without Tom Brady. Tom Brady made him look great. Maybe, whether that's true or not, I think that validates that argument, at least for those people. But one of my buddies said today that he said, I bet you Jordan convinced Belichick to go back to coaching so that she could be in the limelight and be relevant. Because you would never even know anything about her if otherwise. She should have just been a, National Enquirer story for one day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, that's a good point. It very well could have been the case. I love you long time. You go get coaching job.
Oh my God. Cut.
All right. Ryan asked, do you think Dave watched the game and thought, oh, this is how you score when up 17 or more points? I assume he's talking about UNC. And did he use as a talking point to his coaches explaining why TCU should have buckled down and ran out the clock as a superior strategy? People are not going to live this 31-point thing down. And I don't think they should. But, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see change. I want to see them not take their foot off the gas, so to speak.
Sonny Dykes probably tried to, and they just kept scoring. I stopped watching before the end of the third quarter. I was like, this is just so pathetic. I just can't even watch it.
I hate watching the whole thing. It was great.
They look so like slow, athletic. I don't know. It's like a weird. It just doesn't look like a AC. It doesn't even look like an ACC football team.
Yeah,
really weird. And of course,
this is a real sidebar here. But I was talking to my buddy who's out in Nebraska, and he was talking about take his kid to preschool, and everybody there was wearing Nebraska red. And I always wondered what it would be like if there was only one or maybe even two schools in the state where everybody was united behind the same program. Like, that'd be wild. Like, North Carolina's got 20 teams.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be like South Carolina, right? Clemson and South Carolina.
But that would be so cool. Like, I'm jealous of Nebraska fans for that part of it. I always just wonder about that. And I'm thinking, like, just merge. There's got to be some good players on Carolina. Let's bring them over to us. So let's have one team. Yeah.
God.
Anyway, I was really in a...
In past years, it was like you would want their offense and our defense. That's all you want.
Pretty much, yeah.
You could put... That should have been the thing, like, to go to the SEC. They were like, all right, here's the deal. We're taking you, but we only take half of each of your squads.
Wolf Heels, Tarpack. Like, I don't know.
Oh, Tarpack. Oh,
Can you imagine? What color do you come when you miss baby blue and red?
Wolf Heels sounds interesting.
Purple?
Yeah, sure. God. Purple? Yeah, we'd just be the Pirates.
Sorry, ECU. We're taking your name.
We're taking your midfield logo, and we're taking your team.
Yeah. You think Steven is actually lined up to be the next head coach? I mean, sure seems like it, but who the hell knows? Who knows what they do over there?
God, I cannot wait to watch this Hulu documentary if it ever gets released. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be great. Okay. James asks, what happens to confidence if NC State struggles at home with UVA? What does the fan base do? I think the fan base is going to do what we always do and bitch and moan.
But then still buy season tickets because we're good fans.
Yeah, and then show up and do it all over again. Glutton for punishment.
That's right.
I don't know. I mean, I'd rather struggle with UVA and win than struggle against ECU. That one's still more disturbing to me. The UVA seems to be a more competent program, but still Tony Elliott and Des Kitchings. Don't lose to a Des Kitchings offense, please.
Yeah, I don't think we've lost to them since like 2012, to put that in perspective. So, right? Oh, God, yeah, it was a Tom O'Brien game.
Dude, that game, and like, Dave better be very aware that game...
It's a fireable offense.
Is a fireable offense, because I will never forget that Carter Finley during that UVA game where it just felt lifeless and dead, and you're like, this is the end. This is the absolute end. And it was. He didn't last much longer. And if State rolls that kind of effort out, and I don't think they will, but if they do, oh boy, it is going to be hot.
I think we're going to be pretty fired up.
I think we'll be fine. Yeah, I'm just saying. But I just remember that UVA game. Oh, boy, that was terrible.
I think ECU, like, they were pissed, but it was like contained. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't want my Dave contained. I want him salty and uncontained.
Well, Des Kitchings will probably bring that out of him, I'm sure.
So UVA was playing Coastal last week, and I texted James Henderson. I was like, are you conflicted? Who are you pulling for? These are your boys. It's Des versus Tim Beck. He didn't like that. He said, I ride with Des, man. I was like, all right. Mac asked, what is the perception of this team, Dave, if we see more of what we were in the second half? Sputtering offensively, but still decent on defense, just at the same bend, don't break that we've been for years. I don't think it changes anything.
Yeah. I mean, your perception's kind of locked at this point. Short of Dave coming out and being like, I want to... I had it wrong. I meant 41 points a game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Dave is Dave, right? And most of the time, it's not a bad thing. It's just, again, it's like when you play like that, you better win all the games, right? Because when you lose one like that, like we did over the years with like a random wake losses and things like that, BC, all that crap, right? It just wears you out. I don't know. I don't even know. I still don't even know how long Dave's really gonna stick around.
Who knows?
Probably 25 years at this point.
God. Jamies. Building on that, what do we need to see from the offense this week to feel good going forward? Both Roper and CJ in the press talked about not taking their foot off the gas. I missed that comment. I went back and looked. I missed that comment from Roper, but I didn't see CJ's presser.
Yeah, I listened to his video. I didn't hear him say that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Maybe it was CJ.
What do you want to see from the offense?
Just keep going vertical.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like just honestly, actually, what I want to see is CJ look a little bit more settled, like quit it with the happy feet, but also, you know, when the play is busted and you can't go anywhere, just throw it away. Like he hasn't really done that very much in his career. That's something he probably needs to work on. So, I don't know. Just throw it to Wesley Grimes, I guess.
And Hoffman.
And Jolie.
Yeah, I want to see more tempo with the offense. I want to see them, continue to be aggressive. And I mean, again, we said earlier, executing the run game. Because I think if you can run, it'll free you up to pass, like later on. Right now, teams just don't respect our run game for whatever reason. That's what I want to see. Yeah, defensively, I want to see them keep up that intensity. I want to see Harsh and Sloan continue to have the high motor games. Yeah, linebackers played free. Look like they were playing fast. Not a ton of concern defensively. I know there was some blown coverages by the corners, but I mean, again, ECU's skill positions are pretty fast. I don't know if UVA has that level of skill. And again, based on their box scores and watching the game, they're going to try to run the ball and be creative trying to run it. I don't know. Jason asks, they say the biggest improvement is from week 1 to week 2. What are you looking for to show that improvement? Something that isn't a fundamental change in Dave's nature anyway. We've kind of talked about that already. Like, I just, beating a dead horse here. Continue to be aggressive. Continue to be vertical. I mean, maybe see Duke Scott get some touches running the ball. I'd like to see CJ less design runs, quarterback design runs. I like Hollywood getting a lot of touches. I'm not sure if he's a run him 20 times between the tackles guy. Get him some passes, get him some screens. See if you can leverage one of the other running backs. What are you laughing about?
Oh, I was just saying I want to see a punt return.
Punt return?
Yeah.
Make field goal.
Yeah. Honestly, I'd like to see Duke Scott a little bit more. To follow up on your point about limiting Hollywood's touches. Yeah, just get guys doing what they're supposed to be doing. If CJ's pulling the ball on RPOs when he shouldn't be pulling it, which seems to happen a lot, maybe stop running RPOs until this guy knows how to run it correctly. Right? That's the kind of thing I'd like to see. I'm excited to see this defense, to be honest. I want to see if they can bring that same energy and hype that they had this last game and make sure that wasn't just because it was ECU's offensive line.
Yeah. I think it's fair. Nothing crazy. I think State can roll out and win this game if they just don't do stupid things, right? I mean, clean it up. Don't get a false start on a victory formation. Don't let them get a touchdown when you're trying to sub. Don't sub when they're trying to go fast. I mean, there's a lot of, clean upable things that they could do. That
I will be shocked if we see a lot of tempo, to be honest. But
you think we'll see tempo or no?
I don't. From UVA, I mean.
Oh.
I don't.
They didn't run tempo against Coastal, but again, that was never a threat.
Yeah, I think on the pod I was listening to, I think they mentioned maybe on one drive or one portion of a drive they ran a smidge of tempo. So that's never really been Dez's calling card. So, I think that if Kitchings calls this game like he has in the past, I think it bodes well for us. I think I didn't realize it, but there is a North Texas connection. I think Nelson, the cornerback, was there last year.
Yep.
So there's at least someone that you can kind of pick the brain and have familiarity on him. But I'm intrigued to see if Elliott can kind of mess with their heads a little bit. I don't know, man. I'm really gonna be watching Sloan and Harsh and seeing if that's replicated or.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And sorry, I'm trying to do a fantasy draft while we're doing this, guys. So if I seem a little distracted, I am.
Yeah, all good. Not a ton more to talk about. I had something else and I blanked on it, but this is all good for now. It'll be good. I think Pack will be fine. Pack wins this game. Just clean it up. I want to see some improvement from week 1 to week 2. I mean, it's as simple as that. And give me some hope going into the rest of the season. I don't want to really be on edge each week thinking, we're going to make every game close, because that's kind of what it feels like now. But I see the potential in the things we've had, in the what we've shown. So, yeah. Anything else you want to add?
No, not really, man. It will be very sweet to, since my wife went to UVA and all of her family, really would like to win this weekend. I don't need that house divided nonsense.
Do they even care about football?
No. When I asked her sister earlier tonight, who is literally at campus right now, I said, hey, we're playing this weekend. And she was like, what do you mean? She was like, are you guys coming up here for football? And I was like, no, it's down in Raleigh. And she was like, oh, well, I guess like football's like not really a big deal here. And I was like, at least you guys know who you are. You're not faking it like UNC is.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see how this plays out, and we'll be back next week. As always, thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting us. Go Pack, as Will continues to cough
into
the microphone.
Got them baby colds.
Oh, Lord. All right. Thanks for listening, y'all. Talk to you soon. Maybe.
I was raised by the wolves.